Have you ever logged into a social media website and read a news article pertaining a loved one who has died, and you weren't even aware of their death yet? Now imagine the headline said the death was from an apparent suicide, and you know there's no way this person could have done that. Would you have wanted to hear this information from someone close to the both of you with all the details rather than just what the media had to report? This is why today I am proposing to you the Oklahoma House Bill 2490. The medical examiner's report should not be released to the public before the identity and reports of the deceased person has been furnished to the spouse or any one person within 1 degree of blood relation to the deceased. It is hard enough to learn that someone in your immediate family has died, but learning this information from a stranger can be worse and cause increased stress levels. You should have the right to know that your spouse, parent, or even your child has died before anyone else. Today, I would like to explain to you the importance of the Oklahoma 2490. First, I will inform you of the stress associated with finding out a close relative has died. Then I will discuss changes associated with the House Bill 2490. And finally, I will explain the impact of the HB 2490. Discovering that a close relative of yours has died and finding out this information in any way is never easy or without stress. The death of a relative can cause stress in a person, but finding out from a stranger of this death can increase that level. In an article on WebMD written by Naomi Barr in 2008, sudden high stress moments can cause increased breathing, shortness of breath, could cause a person to hyperventilate, or in worst cases, have a stroke or a heart attack. Amber Kiefer stated in an article in 2013, according to the Holmes-Ray Social Readjustment Rating Scale, it shows that death of a spouse can be one of the most stressful events a person can face. On this bar graph shows the amount of Facebook users since the time it was launched in 2009 to last year, 2013. It shows that as of last year, there are 1.2 billion Facebook users, and of those, almost 500 million update their statuses daily. When people find out about a deceased relative from social media, they are unable to grieve properly, especially when they are out in public. Amanda McGregor expressed her anger she felt in an article she wrote in 2014. She talked about while attending a dinner party, she did a Google search just hours after her father was killed and seen an article with his picture and name on it, produced by the local news. She had not been personally informed yet. Catherine Barney talks about a mother, Cheryl Jones, in an article she wrote in 2012. Barney tells that Cheryl found out her daughter was dead via Facebook before she was notified by the police. Jones collapsed from the news and she was all alone. Learning about a loved one's death is not easy, and learning from a stranger is even harder. A few changes to how the information is released is vital to our health. By amending the current bill with one simple change, HB 2490 can make the difference in how a family member is notified about the death of a close relative. It is important that the family members be notified in a timely manner and in person by the authorities handling the case. In the death notification written by K. Sobchak, Dr. Thomas L. Bennett, an Iowa State medical examiner, states that authorities should notify family members as soon as possible, but be absolutely sure first there is a positive identification of the victim. He also stated that too many survivors are devastated by learning of the death of a loved one from the media. Mistaken death notifications have also caused enormous trauma. It is important that the information on the medical examiner's report not be released to the public before the cause and manner of death have been determined and the death certificate has been issued. In an article written by John Vibes in 2014, he talks about a case of how the medical examiner was wrong in his report about events that led to the cause of death, after being told to take another look at the report, he changed the initial order of the events. The family members of the victim had already been told of the events that led to the death of the person before the death certificate had been issued. Now that you have a better understanding of the change that has been proposed to the legislation, let's discuss the impact the change will make. The impact that the amendment to HB 2490 will make on a family member will be life-changing. A family member will now be knowledgeable of the deceased before the local and social media has been provided the information of the identity and cause of death of the deceased. Senator Lisa Billy proposed to the legislation that in no event shall copies of a report be released to the public prior to being released to the family member. Family members will be provided a copy of the medical examiner's report once the manner of death has been determined and the death certificate has been issued. Notifying a family member in person is crucial to the health and well-being. Notifiers who are present can help in the family member being notified if the family member being notified has a dangerous shock reaction, which is not all uncommon, and they can help the survivor move through this difficult moment. Survivors may experience severe emotional and physical reactions. These reactions can be handled well if they are notified in privacy and not in public view. As you can see from the information provided, requiring that family members of the deceased be notified first and on a personal basis, this can impact the way the family members accept the news. Stress levels can be reduced and the well-being of the survivors can be monitored. Today, I have discussed with you the Oklahoma HB 2490 and its impact it can have on the surviving family members of the deceased. First, I told you about the stress that can be caused by finding out about the death of a loved one. Second, I provided you with reasons why family members should be notified first and in person before the social media is given the identity of the deceased. Lastly, I discussed the impact it will have on the well-being of the surviving family members. I hope that you, as an audience, have a better understanding as to why the Oklahoma HB 2490 should become a permanent part of the Oklahoma legislation. Finding out that a person you so deeply cared about has died is never an easy thing. Finding this information out through social media and local news can be even more devastating. This is why I urge you to push for the Oklahoma HB 2490 to make this information more personal and less publicized. Thank you.